Greetings and welcome to another thrilling, exciting episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am KozMcKev, your host. This is for June 7th, 2019. Looking at the sky today, what will we see? Well, we've got the moon in the constellation of Cancer. And the part of Cancer that the moon is in is the nakshatra known as Alesha. And Alesha is ruled by the Nagas, which are snakes. And Alesha is ruled by Mercury as far as like a planet goes, you know. And these are lunar nakshatras. This is from East Indian Vedic astrology. And I throw this in even though I give you a Western forecast because I think it's really important to know about the roots of astrology, and also that as an astrologer, I like to practice what's actually in the sky, not just seasonal Western astrology. That's just my thing, and I know most of you are into seasonal Western, so I keep doing that for you, because I love you. And I just want to turn you on to this. So we've got this Alesha moon today, which is like the tail end of Cancer, and by early tomorrow morning, late tonight, the moon's going to be in the constellation of Leo, and that'll be in the Magha Nakshatra, which is the Pitris and the ancestors. And so we're going to be dealing with more of our Dharma and taking action tomorrow. And here we're in this place where we're just getting over our youthful growth, you know, like, wow, I want to learn about this. This is interesting. And there's kind of like there's sort of a sexy side to Alesha too. Alesha moon can kind of hypnotize. Sometimes there's searing pain. This is not a good part of the sky for Mars to be in. And Mars isn't there. Mars is still in Gemini this week. in sidereal or Vedic astrology. I mean, in Western astrology, yeah, Mars is in Cancer. And we're getting ready also, you know, for like next month there's going to be eclipses, you know, and so we've got these other things to consider. But I've heard from my Vedic sidereal astrologers that actually this is going to be June's the roughest month of the year. I thought, wow, okay. And why is that? Well, one reason I think is because the two wisest planets in the sky that we can see, Saturn and Jupiter, are both retrograde. So they're in kind of retreat mode. They're sort of introspecting and they're focusing down on us. And it's like, you know, Jupiter's like, hey, either you grow or you miss the mark. And Saturn's like, I want you to stop doing frivolous, immature things. Yeah, and so these things, you know, we want to have fun, but they're putting a little bit of a damper. They're saying, you know, seek spiritual enlightenment first. And that's why you've tuned in. I mean, I know this. This is why you're here. So we're going to go sign by sign, doing your horoscope, starting with you, Aries. So, greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. So Mars is in Cancer. Mars is transiting your 4th house. What happens when Mars transits our 4th house? Sometimes we move. Sometimes we get a new car or we sell our vehicle. It's also a time where our happiness depends on activity and it depends on movement. And that's sort of a restlessness, you know, in the 4th house of happiness. So it's not the easiest place for Mars to express itself. And so, you know, that's one way we look at it. What else is going on? Well, we've got Mercury in Cancer in Western zodiac. It's, you know, it's like we have a good memory. We have a good way of doing research right now and looking back at things. And maybe we're too focused on the past and a little bit emotional about memories and stuff. So that might make it's challenging for Aries. Aries kind of like, go, go, go. I want this. So what's working for you? Well, Jupiter in your 9th house, even though it's retrograde, it's helping because it's like, if you've had a plan since it's winter, to go someplace, just go ahead and do it. Take it. Jupiter retrograde is not going to stop you from long-term plans of exotic locales. And also, you're really lucky. There's some lucky good fortune coming your way. There's a lot of responsibility at work, and there's some things are requiring you to just kind of strip down and keep it simple. Because otherwise, if you complicate things and redo it, you're going to have to redo it again anyway, in late September. So just keep yourself in as flexible a place as possible, and, let the good news and the liberty ring. All right. Well, greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Venus is going to move into Gemini on Saturday evening. So, this is the last Venus and Taurus day. I don't know, Venus day, that's kind of a nice day to think about Venus and Taurus. And that's, of course, in the Western zodiac. It's in the constellation of Taurus now. For those of you who follow the sidereal zodiac. And so, one of the things that's going to happen is there's going to be this level of flirtatious ambiguity, almost like, oh, I have so much sexual curiosity. There's also, since it's moving in your second house, it's about, I want to eat really sweet foods, I want to buy luxurious items, it's important to think in the long term. What kind of effect is this going to have on you? But, Mercury is in your third house, so your communication is good, albeit a little bit, you're faster talking than usual. You're wanting something better. I don't know. I see Saturday, Sunday, really nice days. You're going to love the weekend because the moon will be in Virgo. And that's your fifth house, so that marks the love vibe up a little bit. Asking other people to help you is not a bad idea. You don't always have to do it, but it's there for you. Well, hello Gemini, welcome to your horoscope. Let's see, well, we've got Mercury now in Cancer in your second house, so you got something to talk about, but then Mars is there. So you might say it in a really aggressive, fast way. I don't know if this is helping. Venus moving in your first house sort of calms you down a little bit. Makes you a little bit more of a sweetheart. A little bit easier to get along with. And I could note that, Mercury is in sidereal or Vedic Gemini. So if you're like a later Gemini, you've got really a good grip now on communication like never before. And in general, we all have a better grip in communication than ever before. I'd say sell your weapons. Enjoy your weekend. And it's a good weekend for you to stay home. Work on home projects. Feel like a happy homebody. Jupiter in the 7th house. Let's say for female Geminis, pay attention to your husband or your boyfriend, serious relationship, what's going on with him. And there's a lot of transformation and change, and it can't be denied. It has to be looked at. And this isn't a time to really guess things. It's a time to test things rather than to guess things. And isn't that the Mercury nature? I would think so. Okay. Well, greetings Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so for Cancer, yes. You're in this really kind of more or less defensive, protective world. I remember one time seeing in the Mountain Astrologer this great cartoon, and I'm sure I've mentioned this on a show back years ago, but this person had this crab You know, and every one of his claws there was like a gun or a knife or a little sword or whip, and it was like, you messing with my family, I'm gonna get you. You know, and it's kind of in that defensive thing. So think to yourself, you know, I mean, Mars' real purpose is to get rid of evil. How do we get rid of evil? You know, I mean, I love the Bible verse in the New Testament that says, perfect love casts out all fear. Just say it with me. Perfect love casts out all fear. So if you're in a more loving place, this means loving your enemies. Now, I have friends who are reactionaries. They're like, they do that to me, I'm going to do that to them. And they're like kind of proud of themselves. And it's like, okay, so you're in the little mind. You think this is generally the big mind because this is what most people do. But it's really the small mind, because when you understand the roots of what causes people to be angry and motivated, you can be moved to compassion and say, well, you must be feeling really upset. And you can talk people out of violent confrontations if you have a little bit of empathy and compassion for them. This is, the thing that a lot of our law enforcement and military people don't realize, and prison guards and whatnot. Some do. You know, but you know, we're going to change the world more through love and nurturing than we are from fight, fight, fight. They fought me, fire for fire. Let's burn the whole city down. I mean, oh my gosh, you know. Yeah, that's not, you know, we saved that for our toddler days. So you have to evolve, you know, and even relationships, you got to get more mature. And this is a good weekend for hanging out with friends, seeing siblings, stuff like that. All right. Well, hello, Leo, and welcome to the horoscope. So you're in a mood, you know. The moon is in your first house right now. So, I mean, it kind of gives your popularity up. You get a little boost to your ego. You love that. Who doesn't? You know, you've had some serious health issues you've had to deal with. Your life is going better. It seems like your life with your children looks, you know, it's moving forward in some kind of capacity. You've got, well, I mean, this weekend looks good for making money. It looks like you've got good friends in your social life. You're meeting people. I mean, your work situation might be a little bit of chaos and out of the ordinary. And you got some karma. You got some secret enemies to deal with. Not everybody sees you this way. And, you know, I guess you got to just do what you got to do because that's the way it was for you. I can't judge you. That's how it happens sometimes, right? You've heard about these things. Oh my goodness. Well, greetings, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. So, enlightenment, you know, how do we make things lighter? First of all, let me explain for Virgos. You know, Gemini time rules your midheaven, which is where your career stuff happens, your talents and skills, where you fit in with the public's needs. So a lot of you Virgos probably starting new jobs or different positions at work. There's like a different phase that you have to adjust to right now. Showing what you're good at, you know. And really, it's like, for Virgos, it's being that jack of all trades, Jill of all skills, because you're really the only Mercury sign that Mercury also rules your midheaven, too. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Because the 10th house is Gemini when you're talking Virgo, because Virgo, you know, 10 from the first house is Gemini. So these things, I've learned these things more from Eastern, Vedic, Jyotishi, astrology. I know a lot of Western astrologers don't think much about the houses or the rising signs. You are missing out. You are, some of the most amazing secrets in astrology can be found in knowing about houses, working with whole house systems. I wouldn't be able to do these horoscopes if it wasn't for whole house system. Even Robert Hand recommends whole house system to try it sometime. So, he's interrupted house. Too many interruptions. You know, Mercury is in your 11th house, so you have friends, you have an active social life right now, Virgo. You're looking for spiritual relationships primarily because of Neptune's placement in the 7th house. It makes sense. It really does. But you know, your heart's opening up to different types of people that may not be perfect and have problems, and you're there to help them. It's the way it works right now. Okay. Hello Libra, welcome to your horoscope. So, did I tell you that Venus just moved into Gemini? The words of Bruce, I know. And yeah, you know, Gemini rules your ninth house, so there's like all this fun and this experimentation and this excitement, and you know, it could be a long distance love relationship. Oh, I met her at a festival and she was so cute, and you know, you have one of those, you know, possibly fizzled out within a month kind of relationships, but it was just so fun in that first flaming hot meetup. Yeah. And you're having great ideas about art, and you want to relax at maybe a spiritual retreat of some sort. You know, take a vacation. Learn a different language. Learn the language of love. What is your love language? We have different love languages. We tried it all. Nothing worked good enough. For her. It's a more complicated system, let me tell you. Oh boy. But you've got responsibility in work, Libra. You got to keep up with that. And, you know, there's some... You're striving to stabilize your home life amidst some unstabilizing situations. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello, Scorpio. Well, my Sagittarius friend was like, she said, I'm looking for my Scorpio. I'm like, is that me? I don't know. But anyhow, for Scorpio, what's going on? Well, you know, Mars is now in, you know, the ninth house. So you're up for an adventure. Mercury's in your ninth house. You could learn a foreign language. You could become a better communicator, and you really want to. You're wanting to go to these exotic places. You're wanting to fulfill something deeper, better, stronger. You've got Sun in the 8th house, along with Venus. So, you know, there's like kind of this libido interest is starting to get pumped up a little bit here. I mean, like it isn't too much already, Scorpio, but no, there's been things this year where you've kind of held back a little bit. So wait, you know what? I better think about this before I get myself into the jaws of death. You know, I'll be more careful about, you know, what invitations I accept. And, you know, you like unusual relationships. You're open to that because of Uranus placement in Taurus. So this is going to be an ongoing theme for the next 6 years. I know, there's not much I can do about it. But, you know, it looks like your social life's good this weekend, so you enjoy that, move with that, flow with that, go with that. Well, hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, Jupiter retrograde in the first house. It's like taking care of yourself on a deep level. You know, it's like time to eat good meals, digest good books, take in good information that elevates you, makes you feel better. You know, there's so much of that, warning, warning, this is bad. I mean, yeah, warning, trucks coming, don't cross the street and get hit by it. I get that. That's good information, although it's not always pleasant to hear. But, I mean, things, what's working? How can we support the good? That's the real question. That's what we strive to do. Now, relationships should get better. Venus moves in your 7th house. You seem like a more ideal candidate for love right now. You're in your heart. You know, you've had to deal with some harsh communications, some money issues that haven't been flowing necessarily the way you like them to. Sometimes you just have to ask for help. You know, that's what I'm going to say. And like a lot of your talents and skills are going to be seen this weekend, so put yourself in a good position to show what you do well and let other people know about it. Oh, hello, Capricorn. And welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, we got this whole thing. We got this thing down. It's called moving slow and cautiously, but remaining true to your goals. Fulfilling your goals. There's a power in you to elevate the world and everyone around you. There is, even in spite of grief, in spite of limitations, sometimes you have to welcome it. Yeah, I mean, this is sorrow. In a lot of ways, our sorrow and our mourning is what universalizes us. You know, the joy of birth and the sadness of death. I mean, these are things that are commonalities. Well, not everybody experiences a birth and is going to be a parent, but we're all going to experience death somehow. Most of us will see loved ones die and pass away. And so we take this stuff personally. And, you know, you're really trying to elevate your own spiritual premise and outlook this year on things. That's good, right? You know, now's a good time to work on health issues. You know, a good time to do little mini lemon water fasts, perhaps. You know, chamomile, be good to the kidneys. Be more approachable and friendly at the workplace. Accept confrontations with, well, I'm glad, that must have been hard for you to get that out. I'm glad you told me that, you know. Don't react. You know, that's the thing. It's like, beyond reacting, act out of love. Stay true to that more loving self, and you'll get better results. It works almost every time. All right. Well. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, I mean, Saturn over there in the 12th house. It's not a bad place. It's like, let's be serious about what karma has been hard for us. And, you know, and yeah, I mean, sometimes I've noticed people with this aspect too. It's like you can be so serious you drag everybody down with you. You know, it's like, oh my God, it's like serious like a heart attack, serious like a root canal, you know. It's like, but at the same time, think of it as like I am being real with my grief. I'm being real with my need to transform. I'm being real with the fact that I have past life trauma or subconscious trauma that's disturbing me. And I've got good friends with Jupiter in the 11th house, so they're helping me. And maybe I got my favorite crystal on, and it just makes me feel good. And even though things might be somewhat unstable and weird at home, I'm living in my heart. I am living out of love. I am being more creative. I am doing the things I really want to do. Yay! And that's a good part. And I too have to watch my health and work out and get myself in shape. Yeah, I know round is a shape. I'm not into body shaming, but I want people to be the best they can be with what they got. And just, you know, and celebrate little victories you have. You know. That's it. Yeah, celebrate those little victories. Well, greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So nice to be here with you. Neptune in the first house. Is it real or is it an illusion? Well, the more illusionary side of Neptune is going to be made reality in a couple weeks when Neptune goes retrograde. You know, but it's not for now. So pursue your spiritual life, your higher aesthetics, the agape love with gusto, and with joy, and with kindness, and realize that, you know, friends can inspire you, that right now, work on your home life, being happy at home, being happy with your parents, you know, it's especially your father right now, a little more, like with Sun in the 4th house, like, you know, his contribution to you, or lack of it, how could I have done better, what was his trauma, how can we help people that are traumatized to do the right thing? Not to discard anyone, but each one teach one, you know, nurture each other in this good way. And it's going to be a romantic weekend for Pisces because Moon's going to be in the 7th house. And I really like that aspect, you know. I mean, there was a song in the 60s by the Fifth Dimension about that. When the moon is in the 7th house. I mean, it practically sounds like Tom Jones lounge music now. It's not unusual to have love with anyone. There was actually a good video of Tom Jones somewhere with Crosby, Stills, Nash. It's like, I never thought that guy would be like a hippie band, but no. There's a lot of crossover out there, folks, especially among artists and musicians. We love that. And so, I mean, when you're crossing over, Pisces, you know, be respectful of people and their difficulties in your social life. Realize that you're still a visionary, that you're helping people, that your career life, it can really take off this year, and that you've got a lot of great creative ideas and activities. And I think the best of everything is yet to come. That you're about to bring the best of everything. Moon is growing, so are you. I'm KozMcKev, I'm out. We'll be here next week where we do this again on the Planetary Persuader. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share. I love your comments. Message me if you'd like personal reading. I'm a busy guy, but I'm not too busy for the people I love. So here we go.